Hello dear students, welcome back again to Chinmoy's YouTube channel. So today here we are going to discuss about the second part of the skin and its function. So today we are going to discuss about the derivatives of skin. So I hope you all have gone through my previous video where I have discussed only about the skin proper, that is the dermis and the epidermis. So today in the derivatives of skin, let us start with today's episode. So what are the learning objectives in this derivatives of skin? We are going to learn about the hair, the nail, the sweat glands, the mammary glands, the sebaceous glands. So these 5 things are the main derivatives of skin. So today we are going to discuss only about the derivatives of the skin and their function with their detailed diagram, label diagram in detail. So stay tuned with my lessons. Please do subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like and share my videos so that when I'm posting the updates, you get to know whatever I'm posting in detail. So let us start with today's video of derivatives of skin. Now the first derivative of the skin, we are here with hair. So what is hair? So hair are the epidermal outgrowths of the malphizian layer. So these are the epidermal outgrowths of the malphizian layer and they are also called pili. Now these are hair. We all know that if you hold a hair, it is a flexible strand and it is produced by the hair follicles. So let us see the diagram here. Where lies the hair follicle? So this root is the hair follicle from which the hair is growing. And what is hair made up of? It is mainly made up of keratin. So it is mainly made up of hard keratin. So if you need to tear a hair, you need to put a lot of pressure. So it is made up of hard keratin. So what are the chief regions of hair? They are the hair shaft, they are the hair root and hair bulb. And hair follicle, we have already told earlier that from the hair follicle itself the hair is growing. Now what are the main this hair shaft, hair root and hair bulb? What are they? So hair shaft is the part which is projecting from the skin. So you can see that here from the part where the hair is projecting from the skin. See the labeling where I am pointing, this is the hair shaft. So from that only the hair is projecting outwards from the skin. The shape of the shaft determines whether the hair is straight or curly. So the shaft, whether that shape of the shaft is determining whether the hair will be curly or whether the hair will be straight. Now next comes the hair root. Now the hair root is the part where it is embedded into the skin. So as the name root suggests, as the plant is also embedded within the soil with the help of a root, the hair root helps the hair to get embedded within the epidermis region. Now next comes the hair bulb. What is the hair bulb? The lowest part of the hair, that is the lowest part of the hair root. It bulges and that forms the hair bulb. So this bulge region is called the hair bulb. Now the hair is the only living tissue of the hair bulb. There the bulge is formed. That bulb is the only living tissue of the hair. Now hair bulb is again, down the hair bulb there is the hair follicle. So first the bulb is formed, that is the living part, only living part of the hair. Then down to that is the hair follicle. Now from above that we can say the hair shaft is there. Now the shape of which shaft will tell you whether the hair will be curly or whether the hair will be straight. So is it clear to all? Now next, a hair papilla which is containing of a large number of blood capillaries which enters the hair bulb and supplies the nutrients to the outgrowing hair. So hair papilla, it's supplying, it's containing a load of blood capillaries and it's supplying nutrients to the growing hair. Now around the hair follicles, what are there? We can say that here, if you can see that around the hair follicles there are nerve endings and which are sensitive to touch and respond if the hair shaft is moved. Now if you are pulling the hair, you will feel pain in your head or in any region where the hair is growing. So it is sensitive to touch. As the hair follicles, near the hair follicles, you can see the hair follicle. So near to this hair follicles there are nerve endings. So near to this hair follicles there are nerve endings which are actually causing the hair sensitive to touch and respond. Now associated with this hair follicles there are certain smooth muscle cells. So what are these smooth muscle cells called? They are called the arrector pili muscles. You can see this label diagram there I have given you. What are these? These are called arrector pili muscles which are causing the association of the hair follicle with a bundle of smooth muscles. Now this arrector pili muscles are again they are bound in such a way that their contraction pulls the hair follicle into the upright position. So if this arrector pili muscles, we can say that APM I am writing, this arrector pili muscles, they are contracting. If they are contracting, what will happen? In case if they are contracting, what will happen if they are contracting? This is actually, this contraction helps in the movement of the hair follicle to get in upright position. So the hair will erect. So that is called the piloerection. So hair becomes erect. So that is the piloerection. And we can say that the dimples of the skin surface, they produce goose flesh. So these are all the new terms. This piloerection, that is goose flesh, these are all new terms which are you are getting in touch with. So learn this properly. So first is piloerection is happening and the hair is becoming straight. So it is becoming erected and they are producing dimples on the skin surface. And these are called the goose flesh in response to, now if it is too cold, in response to cold temperature also, or in response to fear also. We can say that they are, if you are in a condition where you are scared too much, so we can say that goose flesh or goose pimples appears throughout the body. So all the hairs become straight. You have seen that when it is too cold, you start to shiver, the hair becomes straight, and this is due to the arrector pili muscles contraction and goose flesh or piloerection happens. So it is very important that retention and protection of this, it always helps in the retention and protection mechanism for the animals. Okay, so it helps to retain the body temperature and it helps in the protection mechanism of all animals. So this is how the hair, the derivative of the skin, is acting to protect from cold external temperature and as well as for the protection of the animals. Now the other parts you have already learned. I have just told you the hair shaft, the hair root and the hair bulb, and with this hair follicle. Now when it comes to the muscles, that is the arrector pili muscles, and the piloerection is happening and this results in goose flesh or goose pimples. Is it clear to all? Now we will move on to the next part. Now here we are back again with hair color. So what does the hair color contain? So the hair color contains melanin. So melanin is the pigment of the hair color. So the grey or the silvery hair is due to the minute air spaces which are there formed in the hair, and when the melanin pigment is lost. So hair is continuously, it is lost, it is regrown and all. And the scalp hair, we can say that the scalp hair is living for from 2 to 5 years, and while the hairs of eyebrows and eyelashes, they live for 3 to 5 months. So the main pigment of hair color is the melanin, and we can see that we are having gray hairs when we are aging, or at certain age, general any age also, can have, if we are having a black hair, at times we are having when we are growing old, when we are aging, we are having gray or silvery hair. That is due to the minute hair spaces formed in hair when the melanin pigment is lost. Now hair is continuously lost and regrown. So 2 to 5 years, we are telling that the hair of the scalp, it is replaced from 2 to 5 years, and the hairs of the eyebrows and eyelashes, they live for 3 to 5 months. Is it clear? Now we will move on to the functions of the hair. Now as we are having our full body, as we are mammals, we are having hairs throughout our body. So why this hair, what is the function of the hair? We should know that, right? So hair, we can say that it provides warmth by trapping and insulating the layer of air beneath them, as most of the mammals with hair on their body, they are having hair on their body. So as we are mammals, we know that we are this hair is trapping the heat and it is acting as an insulating layer. Now hair from different parts of the body, such as head, chest, beard, etc., they show marked differences. and they are having a very important role in crime detection. So if we are getting hair from a head, a chest or a bird, so it is helping us to detect the crime. So at the site of crime, if we are getting hair from the head or chest or bird, we can make out marked differences. Now the facial hair in humans help in sexual dimorphism. So what is sexual dimorphism? We females, we don't have facial hair. Generally the male, they are having bird, so that facial hair helps us in sexual dimorphism. Now hair along the edges of the eyelids, so we are having eyelids or eyelashes which help in preventing the entering of the foreign particles into our eyes. So foreign particle will not enter into our eyes because it is covered with eyelids, and eyelids are having eyelashes. So these eyelashes are preventing the dust particles or the foreign particles to enter to our eyes. Now hair in the nostrils also, they are preventing the dust particles from entering the nasal passages and helping in the cleaner breathing. Now if we are not having what we can say, if we are not having hair in the nostrils, the dust will enter into our nose and they will cause a dust allergy or sneezing. They will make us sneeze, or we'll have a irritable sensation in our nose because of these hair in the nostril. It is preventing the entry of the dust particles or the foreign particles into our nose. Is it clear? Now we will move on to the next part, that is nail. So what is nail? So nail is another derivative of skin, and it is a hardened keratinized plate-like modification. What is it? It is a hardened keratinized plate-like modification. So if you are following the label diagram, just to see, it is a modification of the epidermis that is forming a clear protective covering. It is forming a clear protective covering on the dorsal surface of a finger or a toe. So generally we are having nails on the finger and on the toe. So nails are the derivatives of the skin which are covering the epidermis. It is acting as a protective covering, and it is made up of hardened keratinized plate. So nails are growing as dead cells from the nail root. So this is the nail root. From this nail root, the nail is growing, and nail is having different parts. So these parts we will be reading in the next slide. So the parts of the nail is nail plate, nail bed, nail matrix and nail root. We have already told that the nails are coming out from the nail root, which is having three parts, that is nail plate, nail bed and the nail matrix. So this is the nail matrix, this is the nail bed and this is the nail plate. So let us move on to the next one. Now what is a nail plate? Now see this diagram again. What is the nail plate? The hard outer covering of the nail made up of dead keratinized cells. So this part is the nail plate. So this is the hard part, which is the outer part and which is made up of the dead keratinized cells. Now next comes the nail bed. Now this is the lower part, is the nail bed. So the nail bed or the nail root below the plate, both bed and plate originate from the nail matrix. So below the nail plate there lies the nail bed, and nail bed and the plate, they originate from the nail matrix. Now what is the nail matrix? The nail matrix, it is this part, the nail matrix, it is lying below the skin surface at the base of the nail. So it lies below the skin surface at the base of the nail. Now what is now at the base of this part, we can see that there appears a half moon, like if you see your nail, if you see your nail plate, you can see that there is a whitish half moon like base at the nail. At the base of the nail there is a structure like half moon like. So what is it called? It is called lunula. So lunula is that term which is at the base of the your nail appears a whitish half moon. So that is called lunula. And it produces new cells, and on maturation they push the older cells towards the tip of the nail, causing its growth. So this part is making new cells and it is producing new cells towards on maturation and pushing the other older cells towards the tip of the nail, causing its growth. Now the proximal and the lateral borders of the nail, the proximal and the lateral borders of the nails, they are overlapped by the skin folds called the nail folds. Okay, so nail folds, what are there? There are proximal and lateral borders of the nail, and these are overlapping each other. They are called the nail folds, and these are overlapped by the skin folds. So it is clear for everyone, this part is cuticle, this part is nail root. Near the nail root is only the matrix from which the nail is growing. Now this is the distal edge nail plate, this is the hyponychium, and this is the nail bed. Okay, this is how we are describing or discussing the nail, that is another derivative of the skin. So you just need to know or need to learn about this three parts: nail plate, nail bed and nail matrix, and just practice this label diagram, because if you're practicing this diagram only, you will get to a clear idea of this nail. So let us move on next to the next derivative of the skin, that is the sweat gland. Now here we are again back with another sweat gland, that is sweat glands is another derivative of the skin. So what is a sweat gland? Sweat gland is actually, it is a simple gland. It is a the coiled tubular structure. It is a coiled simple tubular gland, and its secretory part, it mainly it's coiled, and it is lying in the dermis of the skin. See, it is a coiled organ. It is lying in the dermis of the skin, and the duct extends to a open funnel shaped pore at the surface of the skin. So the duct is extending to a funnel shaped pore at the surface of the skin. This is a coiled gland, this is a sweat gland, and it is opening like a funnel shape to the surface of the skin. So sweat glands, they are also called sudoriferous glands. So sudor, what does this term sudor means? This term sudor itself, it means sweat. So these sweat glands are called sudoriferous glands, which are distributed over the entire skin surface except the nipples and the parts of external genitalia. So these sweat glands are not present in the nipples, and they are not present in the external genitalia. So in these two parts they are not present. No, first one in the nipples and second one in the external genitalia. Is it clear? Now we can say that there are two types of sweat glands, and the epidermal derivatives of the skin, these are the epidermal derivatives of the skin because they are lying in the dermal and epidermal layer, and their number is about 2 to 2.5 million per person. So the number of glands is 2 to 2.5 million. So per person there is 2 to 2.5 million, 2 to 2.5 million per person. So it is the number of sweat glands which are in our body. So 2 to 2.5 million. And there are mainly two types of sweat glands, that is eccrine and apocrine glands. Now eccrine glands meaning the secreting glands. So eccrine glands means the glands which are secreting. So secreting glands is eccrine, and we can say that these sweat glands are far more in number and are particularly abundant in the palms, soles and forehead. So these secreting glands are mainly present in the palms, soles and foreheads. They are mainly present in the palms, soles and forehead, right? Is it clear? So these are mainly secreting glands, and they are present in the palm, soles and forehead. So there are many sweat glands, like if these sweat glands are present 400 per square meter on the palms and forehead and all. So this secretory part, sweat glands, absorbs the fluid from the surrounding cells. What they are doing, they are secretion, what is being secreted from these sweat glands is called sweat. We all know that. Now next comes the apocrine sweat glands. So if you see this diagram, label diagram, you can see this is the eccrine sweat gland. You just follow my pointing. This is the eccrine sweat gland. The structure is the same, but the position is a little bit different. And this is the apocrine sweat gland. So now what is the eccrine sweat gland? We have told that it is mainly the secreting gland, and it is mainly present in palm, soles and forehead, and nearly 400 per square centimeter. So it is present nearly 400 per square centimeter. 400 per square centimeter. Now we are here back with the apocrine sweat glands, which are largely found in the axillary and genital region. So where is it mainly found? It is mainly found in the axillary and the genital region. Is it clear? It is mainly found in the axillary and the genital region. So their ducts, they empty their secretion through the hair follicles. Only the procedure is the same, but they are present in axillary and the genital region. So their secretion is odorless, but we can say that when these molecules are decomposed on the skin, it gives to the unpleasant odor and the basis of body odor. So it gives an unpleasant odor. This apocrine glands, as they are opening into the genitals and the axillary region, though they are not having any smell, but due to the decomposition of the bacteria of the skin, on the skin, it is having an unpleasant odor. So that unpleasant odor is due to the presence of bacteria. Now the major function of the sweat, what is the major function of the sweat from the sweat glands? Actually the major function of the sweat is to reduce the body heat by evaporation. So what is it doing? It is actually reducing the body heat. So it is actually reduce the body heat. So it is actually reducing the body heat by evaporation, right? It is actually reducing the body heat By evaporation. It is reducing the body heat by evaporation. Is it clear? Now we will move on to the next two other derivatives of the skin, that is mammary glands and sebaceous glands. So what are mammary glands? Mammary glands, these are also derivatives of the skin. They are a variety of specialized sweat glands which secrete milk. So they are not secreting sweat, they are secreting milk. They are also a part of integumentary system, and these mammary glands are present in both the sexes, both male and female. Though the male, they don't secrete milk, but these mammary glands are present in both sexes. Now normally functional in females only to nourish a newborn baby. Is it clear now? Slightly below the center of each breast is a ring or a pigmented skin called the areola. So this is the nipple opening. This is the mammary gland. Okay, so we can say that this is the mammary papilla, and these are the alveolus. These are the alveolus, and this is the secretory cell. Now if you take this part, you can just magnify it, and you can say that these are secretory cells, and this is the nipple opening. And this region slightly below the center of each breast, there is a pigmented region, that is the areola, which surrounds the nipple. So these are the mammary glands. So this is the mammary gland diagram. There is a contractile unit here. There are secretory cells, there are myoepithelial cells, and this is lactiferous duct, or the duct which carries the milk to the nipple. Okay, so these are the mammary glands which are mainly functional in females to nourish the newborn baby. Though in males they are present, but they are not functional. In females only they are functional. Now the last derivative of the skin is the sebaceous glands. So sebaceous glands are also present in you can see this diagram, are oil glands that are simple glands found all over the body except the palms and the soles. So these are the sebaceous glands. These are also opening into the skin surface. So these glands open into the hair follicles. So these glands are below, just in the dermis layer. So they are also opening in the skin hair follicles, and these glands are secreting oily secretion called the sebum. So the sebum, they softens and lubricates the hair and the skin and prevents the hair becoming brittle. So more the amount of sebaceous glands you are having, more the oily skin and the oily hair you will be having. So if you are having less sebaceous glands, your skin, your hair will be brittle and it will dry. Now this sebaceous glands keeps the skin as well as the hair moist, and it prevents the water loss from the skin when the external humidity is low, means the external air is dry. So more you are having sebaceous glands in your skin, in your hair and your skin will remain soft and supple, and it will be moisturized by the presence of these sebaceous glands. So these are having important functions also to keep the skin moist and soft. So sebum, it softens, it lubricates the hair and the skin and prevents the water loss and prevents from becoming brittle and slows down the water loss from the skin. Now what is its other function? We can also say that it prevents it kills the bacteria. It is killing the bacteria. And we can say that these glands are relatively inactive during childhood, and they are active at the time of puberty. So during puberty they are active, and they are one of the causes of acne and pimples. Now this acne and pimple, as I have discussed in the previous slide also, these are the active inflammation of the sebaceous glands. Now these are actually they form during the age of puberty, because at that time the hormonal influence is accompanied by pimples, and they cause an accumulation of sebum on the skin, and the bacterial infection that occurs, leading to boils and pimples. So this is how it looks. So it is actually the bacterial infection of the skin, and due to hormonal imbalance it is accompanied by the pimples. Now whiteheads and all, they are also caused by the sebaceous glands only. Now blackheads and whiteheads, as you see here, blackheads on the nose, generally in these areas when the sebaceous gland duct gets blocked, accumulated by the sebum, whiteheads appear on the skin surface. So you need to clean your face, your skin properly, so that if this sebaceous gland ducts, they get blocked with dust and other things, this sebum, they get accumulated and bacterial infection is caused, and that leads to blackheads, whiteheads as well as pimples. So if this material, the oxidizes, dries, it hardens in the form of blackheads. So it may be either blackhead, it may be either whitehead. So they form, these are due to the we can say that due to the sebaceous glands when they are getting blocked. So this is all for today's episode of derivatives of the skin. I have already completed in the first episode skin and its structure and function. So please go through this episode and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the upcoming episodes, for the upcoming parts which I'll be teaching. And here in the next part I'll be coming back with the role of skin in body temperature regulation. So we will learn there vasoconstriction and vasodilatation. So stay tuned, stay updated with all my lessons. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and please do like and share my videos. Thank you.